reported the first cases yesterday. Thought it was the flu. By dawn today, they declared a medical emergency.
Right. And by the time help got here, there was no one left to treat.
The medical crew that responded is in quarantine. They're dying, and there's nothing we can do for them. I've never seen a mortality rate of 100% before, or an incubation period so rapid.
Who've you notified?
FETP, disease control.
And they're keeping quiet about it.
I would too. Mexico City is only 2 hours away.
Now, may I ask why you called us?
Because you guys are the experts in bioterrorism these days. Aren't you?
Ebola is generally considered a biosafety level 4 agent because of its extreme pathogenicity and the lack of a vaccine or antiviral drug. Smallpox is rated less lethally.
Which do we have here?
The CDC is calling this a 2-in-1 package. Ebola is usually spread through contact, which gives it an infection rate of less than 10%. Smallpox is spread through the air, which makes it much harder to protect against.
This has both properties. It has a mortality rate worse than Zaire Ebola, coupled with aerosol transmission.
We think that someone did this deliberately?
An engineered supervirus, yes.
Is anyone claiming credit?
No, they may not want us to know, or it could be that this is the first test of the virus's efficacy, in which case whoever's responsible is waiting to see how successful it was.
Those soldiers were scheduled to be in the field for 3 days. We're hoping the Mexican government will keep things under wrap for at least that long.
Which means we have a small window of opportunity to discover whoever it was that created this and find them.
There are only a few people with the capability of creating something like this. CDC says there are a handful of scientists that fit the bill. All are counted for except one.
Andrei, a microbiologist and biochemist, did research for the Russian government. Worked for 4 years in their bioweapons program and was working on this very supervirus when he left.
Why did he leave?
Russian economy was collapsing. Not a lot of opportunity for cutting-edge scientists.
So he went where he was more appreciated.
He told his neighbors that he was going to Mexico City, and that was the last anyone heard of him.
We have to find Kachin, determine if he's guilty, and discover which person or group he's selling his wares to.
If one vial were dropped in Times Square tomorrow,
We could be talking about 1 million dead. Find this man.
How did you find him so quickly?
Well, I had an idea. Not an idea, really, more of a notion. There are a number of different ways of finding someone. I just chose one. When a person drops out of sight, he can change his name and his hair color,
Yeah.
but the inside is more difficult.
And what did his inside tell you?
Some things a person just can't let go of, like Lex and computers.
I can quit at any time.
Andrei, Kachin, and science. I had Lex check a few periodicals, and right there, in the Northwestern Journal of Microbiology, 2 years back,
It was an article by Kachin.
No, an article by a rival who came to a conclusion that Kachin hated so much that he had to write a letter to the editor.
Andrei Kachin, Paseo de la Reina, Mexico City. He didn't change his name?
Maybe he doesn't think he has anything to hide.
adios.
drives a cab. Wasn't that a little blue collar for somebody selling a supervirus to the highest bidder?
They may not have paid him, which could be the Mexican government's fault. If that camp was the buyer's first test.
He doesn't know if it worked yet.
Right. A camp is so deep inside of Army-owned territory that they couldn't be monitoring it, and the government hasn't released this information yet. So, as far as the buyer knows, Kachin could have sold him a vial of water.
Do we know who the buyer is?
Originally, we were concentrating on Al-Qaeda. Word is that a high-ranking operative is in Mexico City with underground support from a mosque there.
Obviously, it would make a good staging area for an attack on the U.S.
But the FETP reported that they traced the vector of infection to a birthday present that was mailed to one of the soldiers, a bottle of aftershave.
Do we know who sent it?
According to the card, his girlfriend. Unfortunately, she only signed the card Kitten.
Kitten.
He kept photos of her in his wallet.
We can't prove that that's Kitten, but I ran her through our terrorist database and came up with Lucia Galdamaz.
Believed to be a member of the People's Revolutionary Party in Mexico. They're one of the last groups of purely socialist terrorists, anti-American, anti-imperialist, anti-NATO. Most of the PRP's leaders are in jail and they are running out of money.
Keep your eyes open for any connection between Kachin and the PRP.
You tracking the taxi?
Mr. Kachin spends a lot of time cruising around the Hotel Dorado.
Probably looking for tourists. Or buyers.
When did you plant the beacon?
We stepped out for lunch. Here, brought you a taco.
Ah, thanks.
No problem.
So you haven't made contact with him yet, right?
No, waiting for you.
Okay, here's the audio bug for the interior of the taxi. And this one's a camera. It'll give us a visual on all his fares. He's a block away. Get ready.
We're gonna hail him now.
Palacio Nacional.
A este caballero.
Mi paro primero.
No es cierto. Palacio Nacional.
Are you in?
No. Some bastard stole my cab.
Oye, ¿dónde vas? Están esperando en el palacio.
Lo siento, hombre. ¿Viste el juego ayer?
Oh, I'm afraid I don't speak much Spanish.
American.
Yes.
My car. Andrei Cassidy, friendliest taxi driver in Mexico City.
Gracias.
De nada. So what do you do, Mr. Sheldon?
I'm a location scout for the movie business.
My producers are hoping to shoot a film down here. If I can find the right settings for them.
Why all the postcards?
Oh, well, you know, when I take tourists, I always tell them, if you're happy, when you get home, send me a postcard. And you know, some of them actually do.
Right.
You from Los Angeles?
Yeah.
I have 5 cards from Los Angeles. You will be number 6.
Okay. See what I can do.
Mr. Quinn tells me you found Andrei Kachin.
Yes, sir. Stiles is making contact with him now.
We'd like you to prepare a detailed analysis of the man as soon as you feel you have enough information. And we'd like you not to discuss it with anyone, not even Stiles.
All right.
If you determine that Kachin is guilty of selling the virus, the situation will require delicate handling.
In what sense?
Kachin is a Russian national living in Mexico. Legally, we don't have any power over him. So even if we found evidence that he's guilty, the Mexican government imprisons him, he's still a risk. He still has the knowledge.
And with that knowledge, he could buy his way out of anywhere.
I believe you once said you weren't in the assassination business, sir.
There's a great deal at stake here. But your job is very specific. We need you to determine if Kachin is guilty. If so, it means that he cannot be relied upon to keep his knowledge to himself.
In solitary, he could.
You can't lock up his brain. He's still come in contact with other people.
Then you've answered your own question.
I'd prefer that you answered it for us.
Sir, I'm an analyst. I don't read minds.
Your analysis regularly determines policy here, Jackson. It will do so in this case.
You mind if I ask you something?
Uh-huh.
You've taken pictures of the canals, Alameda, the fish market, but you haven't told me what your movie's about.
Well, it's set in the 50s, when Jack Kerouac, Allen Ginsberg, and William Burroughs were here. The Beat Generation in Mexico City, you know. Drugs, doomed love affairs.
You know, you're lucky you found me. I know this city like the back of my hand. I could take you to 6 more locations and still have you back at the hotel for dinner.
Well, there's no hurry. I'm not meeting anybody.
You weren't planning on eating by yourself, were you?
That was the idea.
No. You see, this won't work. You come have dinner with my family.
I couldn't impose.
Don't worry about my wife. She's used to me by now.
You're from Russia originally?
Yes.
St. Petersburg. Too cold there.
And that's why you moved? Just it's too cold?
Well, more opportunity here. Raichka, why don't you show Mr. Sheldon your pictures? She's very talented.
Oh, Daddy.
When she was 6, she could draw every character from Beauty and the Beast. Had to buy her the video. So Mr. Sheldon is from Los Angeles. He's making a movie.
Well, not me, personally, you know.
And, you know, he's lived quite a life. Came from a small town, but had big plans. And then one day broke his leg playing college football. So suddenly all his plans changed. He quit school and became a world traveler, like me. So, the moral of the story is, never let your past slow you down.
This is from the camera that Stiles installed in Kachin's taxi.
Who is she?
Her name is Maria Estone. Her husband is in prison as a political dissident, and they are both members of the People's Revolutionary Party.
Has anything been proven against her?
No, she lives openly in Mexico City, works as a newspaper columnist, and visits her husband twice a week in prison. It could be a coincidence, but in a city of 20 million people, Kachin picks up a leader of the PRP, giving them plenty of opportunity to pass something along.
Like a vial?
Yes, sir. Kachin is one of 6 people in the world who knows how to make the virus, and the only one in Mexico.
You believe we found our man?
Given the available information, yes.
Do you believe, under the right circumstances, the man could be trusted?
Under the given circumstances, I can't say that the man could be trusted to do anything, sir.
I think you need to talk to Stiles now. In person.
You can continue to meet with Kachin while we investigate the connection with PRP and see if you can find out where he makes this stuff.
What if you're wrong? Nothing about his behavior fits the profile you're describing.
I understand.
But you don't take it into account?
How can I? That he's charming, he's nice to his wife and his kid. I mean, the Nazis were kind to their families, too.
What if I discover something that clears him?
Then I guess that you'll be happy. And I'll have me.
Yo sé. Desearía poder...
Ay, María, yo no sé por qué te quedas con él. Si él te trata como una sirvienta.
Su corazón está entregado a nuestra causa. Y él espera lo mismo de mí. nada. Yo solo estaba buscando.
A ver, ladrona, dámelo. ¿Qué? ¿Quieres que le hable a la policía? ¿Eh?
Lo siento. Mi esposo no tiene trabajo.
Ay, ya, lárgate, órale, vete.
It is a great location, you're right. Thanks for the tip. What do you say we get a bite to eat?
I have it right here. Best restaurant in Mexico City.
Andre, I'm supposed to be buying you lunch.
You know, I was thinking last night about where else I should take you. Casa Azul. Very old neighborhood. You know, Bohemian?
Andre.
And Zona Rosa. I made you a list.
This wasn't necessary.
It's okay, I like you. And these days I only do what I like. I drive my cab, I meet new people, I play with my little girl. I live. So much easier than people think.
We should get back early today. My fiance just got into town, and so...
Fiancé! You didn't mention fiancé.
Well, I thought she was staying in California. But, you know, I guess she missed me.
Well, for this, dinner is required. I know the chicken paprika was a little dry, but trust me, we can do better.
Too much?
That's good.
Styles back yet?
Nope.
Well, it's really good to have you guys down here. Don't quite understand it.
Quinn said you're going after all the members of the PRP. That's a lot of bugs.
You gonna be planning bugs too?
Well, I'm just here to do my analysis, so...
So where's Estone now?
Still waiting to talk to her husband.
Hablé con Díaz sobre la tubería.
She spoke to someone named Diaz about the pipes. 2,000 pesos for the upstairs sink, 4,000 for the laundry. Code?
No, I think she's talking about pipes.
Esos plomeros son peores que los chantajistas.
Conseguimos un coche nuevo anoche.
Eso fue una estupidez, María. Que si ni siquiera
What a
sabemos.
stupid thing to do. We don't know if the old car worked yet.
All right, now we've got code. They're talking about the virus.
Sí sabemos. ¿Qué quieres hacer?
Pues yo pienso que
I think we can use this one car to kill two birds. It sounds like Hutchins sold them another vial when Maria was in the cab.
no hay nada que puedan hacer para detenernos. Manejemos este coche.
Ha terminado la visita, señora. Ya se tiene que ir.
América.
Maybe we should start thinking about picking her up.
She's not likely to be carrying around a dangerous pathogen. She's hidden it or passed it along to a Confederate. We really have no way of knowing. It's best to just watch her, see where she leads us.
We could question her.
That might alert her friends, and then they would go underground with the vial, or worse yet, decide to use it immediately. We really don't want to make these people nervous.
Where's Kachin?
Last I checked, we dropped Styles off in front of the hotel. But Hutchins nowhere near here now.
Yeah.
Stiles, where are you?
Scene of the crime. I'm standing in what looks like a homemade lab. I'm looking at refrigerators, equipment, what looks like a centrifuge.
Stiles, we just heard Maria Estoni report to her husband that they'd acquired something that sounded very much like another vial.
There are a lot of vials in here.
Get out. What's in the hazmat team?
Easily.
Get out.
Sir, they began analysis of the contents of Kachin's lab about an hour ago, but it could take days to go through everything.
But we have confirmation. It's supervirus.
Yes. If we act now, we'll be shutting the thing down permanently.
Are you sure?
Kachin's records list 75 vials. There were 73 in the lab. Now, that tallies with the conversation that Hazley overheard between Maria Estoni and her husband. They had one vial initially, which they tested at the army camp. The second vial Maria got from Kachin. She still has it.
How do we know he hasn't sold the virus to someone in the past?
Because he keeps meticulous records that go back for years. All the vials are accounted for, sir.
Then the only thing left to account for is Kachin himself.
Andrei, this is my fiance, Kay McAvoy.
No man's a right to be so lucky.
How many times did you have to do this when you were director?
That's classified.
Well, when they ask you to write your book and you don't give a damn anymore. How many times?
You don't want to know.
Has Stiles kept you abreast of his plans?
Of course.
Tell me. Every detail.
When I was director, I wasn't so masochistic.
If I don't know, it's too easy for me to pretend I'm not responsible. I am.
It's gonna be a suicide.
Okay.
And it won't be pretty. Terry and Stiles are going to the man's home tonight for dinner. He's expecting to introduce them to his family. They won't be there.
So, you'll get to meet my little Raisa. She's an artist as well. Alina? Raisa? Oh, I'm sorry, they're usually home by now.
Oh, honey, did you bring the camera up?
I'm sorry, I think I left it in the cab.
Do you mind? I'd love to get some pictures of your family.
Oh, of course not.
Okay.
So, Kay, short for Catherine?
Yes.
And Peter, this is Pete.
That's what his friends call him, yeah.
Yeah, Americans, always in a rush, always shortening things.
Well, don't Russian nicknames work that way?
Well, sometimes. But sometimes exactly the opposite. Andrei, Andrusha. Like Sergei, Seryozha. Because when you're saying the name of someone you love, you don't really want to stop. I wonder what's keeping Peter. I'll go and help him.
Did Raisa do those?
Kachin's wife works 3 days a week cleaning houses. Her daughter meets her after school and they take the bus home together. We've arranged for it to break down. Mrs. Kachin doesn't carry a cell phone. By the time she gets to a payphone, Stiles will have finished his preparations.
Sorry I took so long. That location list you gave me must have fallen out of my pocket. I finally found it on the back seat. Thank you.
Sí. Здравствуй. Ты где? Хорошо, еду. I'm sorry. Have to go pick up my wife and daughter. You don't mind waiting here?
Not at all.
Okay. Won't be long.
When it's done, and it will be soon, I'll let you know.
I know you've always felt that you were better qualified for my job. I'm beginning to think you're right.
My God.
Done.
Everything?
I put him in the front seat, made sure everything tracks.
Let's go.
Wait. Have you got everything? Have you got the camera, your purse? Because we can't leave anything behind.
I have everything. Hello?
Terry, where are you?
Leaving Cochin's.
Did he do it yet?
Yeah, he just... finished.
I think we might have the wrong man.
How could this happen? 2 hours ago, we were so sure.
2 hours ago, there was a very high probability of Kachin's guilt.
What changed?
The medical team found live samples of Ebola smallpox in Kachin's lab.
We knew that this afternoon.
But the team went on to analyze the other vials. And they found what looked like efforts at engineering. They think that Kachin was trying to create a vaccine.
You son of a bitch.
Stiles.
He was trying to find a cure?
Yeah.
You were wrong!
Yes.
You were wrong! You're not supposed to be wrong!
You know what? Go back to your room. We'll call you.
Right. He must have been trying to make up for what he did when he helped the Russians develop this stuff.
Now you figure this out? You have no idea who this man was.
You know, Marina Estone, it couldn't have been a coincidence. Kachin didn't change his name. So if the PRP tracked him down and it followed him as you did and found the lab.
They stole it?
A couple of vials of supervirus would be a score beyond price for them.
So there's your famous cab ride. She was keeping him busy while her friends
robbed the lab.
So why didn't they take them all?
Well, they probably didn't want to tip him off before they knew whether it worked or not. And those deaths at the army camp didn't go public until yesterday.
Still one sample left, and the PRP has it.
Where are you going?
To hell.
Sorry.
It's not your fault.
I know. But I love this agency, and I hate it when we're wrong.
You don't have to worry about the agency. No one's going to know.
I know.
It was a mistake, given the information that we had, sir. If the exact same situation arose again, we'd do exactly the same thing.
Would you have done the same thing, Carl?
Absolutely, sir. And when we find whoever's really responsible, I'll support doing it again.
The American Embassy is on alert. All the border patrols have been notified.
Can't we just have Maria and her pals arrested? We've got her clothing bugged, her purse, every vehicle of everybody who visits her. Who are we gonna miss?
It only takes one.
If she's arrested and searched and the vial doesn't turn up,
Then we're screwed. Well, they'll be on to us. Next time we hear about this vial, we'll be in a headline that reads, "Massive death toll in Mexico."
Maybe we should check the embassy blueprints again, go over it for points of vulnerability.
Guys, I just heard the word for virus. Maria's still at her house. She's got a few visitors, all male.
¿Cuándo nos vas a entregar el regalo?
the men are asking Maria when the gift is to be delivered.
Ahora.
She says it's now.
Then they either have the vial, or they're getting it.
Buena suerte.
Sorry you won't be with us. Good luck.
The guys are on the move. Maria's still there.
Operation in progress. Langley has got the Federales standing by, and they've got the model analyzer's number for the car, so...
They're heading east. That could take them to the U.S. Embassy, but I'm gonna lose the signal when they're out of range. We have to decide what we're gonna do.
Tell the Federales to move in.
Wait. Maria's car is moving too. What if she has the vial?
Wait. Stop.
Give it a minute.
Where is Maria now?
Calle Ruiz.
Where is that? What is that near?
Nothing but a bunch of warehouses and a mosque.
When Maria visited her husband in prison, she talked about two birds with one stone, and about driving a car to America. We know there's an Al-Qaeda operative in Mexico City. And if they were to sell the vial to him, they would make so much money.
And Al-Qaeda could do the job for them on American soil.
Two birds with one stone.
And if she's arrested, and she doesn't have the vial? Paisley, are you sure?
There's a very high probability.
Okay.
Tell the Federales to pick up Maria Estoni and whoever she might be talking with. And use extreme caution.
Es María.
¡Alto! ¡No te muevas! ¡Alto! ¡Están detenidos!
Styles. Thank you. She had the vial. We're not finished. We're not finished.
I don't understand. Andrei was involved in something secret.
You're aware of the work that your husband did in Russia?
Yes. He hated it.
Perhaps you've seen the news headlines. A group of terrorists that had a virus similar to Andrei's. They'd killed with it before, and this time many more people would have died. And Andrei was trying to keep that from happening.
You mean he was still...
He was trying to stop them.
And these people...
We can't go public with this. It would be too dangerous for you and your daughter. But we wanted you to know that Andrei didn't commit suicide. He died a hero. He loved you very much. This is my card if I could ever be of any assistance. There's one more thing.
You told her what?
I didn't specify I was from the CIA. We'd have the stipend issued from some bank.
Perhaps it's escaped your notice, but Andrei Kachin didn't actually work for us.
He died in the furtherance of our operation.
He was a casualty, not a hero.
Well, I disagree, and so might the papers.
Must you always threaten to destroy your career?
Let me just say that I feel very strongly about this. Both Mr. Styles and myself feel that it's the right thing to do.
So, Mr. Styles has decided to join you in your little revolt.
Well, let's just say Mr. Styles is dealing with this in his own way.
Yo esperaba a mi esposa.
I'm sorry to disappoint you.
That's okay. I can wait.
I persuaded them to give us some privacy.
So perhaps you would like to interview me as a political dissident?
No. I'm just here with news. Your wife was arrested, so I'm afraid there'll be no more visits. And that little gift she was carrying has been taken away. It was you. You gave the orders. Because of you, an innocent man, a good man who loved his life and his family is dead. And he's not the only one. Those soldiers at the camp, how many millions more?
So what are you gonna do? Put me in jail?
You know, I've never dealt with anyone this way. But a wise man once told me, you should never let your past slow you down.
What are you doing? What is that? Hey, somebody! Somebody let me out of here! Let me out!